Hello out there in the lands of the living. Welcome to Thrones of Game, the only Game of Thrones podcast where we watch the series backwards. I am your host, B.T. Calloway. I've watched the series from beginning to end. Joining me is Elliot Jay O'Neill, who has watched from the end until now. Elliot, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also quite good. A little chilly tonight. How are you out there and at home? Yeah, huh? Real. I feel that. That's good. Anyway, we just watched episode 3 of season 7, The Queen's Justice. So let's dive right into this. Elliot, what just happened?
Oh, well, in this episode...
This was a talker. Punctuated with some crazy moments, but it was a lot of talking.
Yeah, I have similar things to say about this episode that I did the last episode we watched, The Spoils of War. Although I will say the lows in this one weren't actually as low. I'm just doing it for the sake of a repeating bit. But the highs were definitely not as high.
Not as high, just, kind of very, very surprising. But we'll get into that. Look, we're going to have to get some things out of the way first. First of all, no memes in this one. There's a bit of bend the knee. We did that last time.
Yep.
And no cock talk.
No cock talk.
No cock talk at all. I mean, there were mouths and there were cocks, but, not talking about them.
No, there was a bit of cunt talk, but...
Yeah, a little bit. Joffrey is a cunt.
But, I mean, even someone who hasn't seen a single Joffrey episode, I knew that already.
Yeah, that's just common knowledge. Sky is blue, birds go tweet, Joffrey is a cunt. No, all right. So what happened in this one? This is another kind of pieces moving one, a little bit more, this has the big fake out with the invasion of Casterly Rock and the taking of Highgarden at the end. We have to kind of skip to the end on this one just to explain what actually happens, because those are the biggest points in this one.
Skipping to the end, how dare we?
I know, what kind of madman would do that?
But yeah, this was like a Game of Heist sort of style thing where, they did the showing how it would work one way and then how it did actually
doing the
work.
famous kind of talking over. And I really do like kind of how this is put together. At first, it is the Unsullied marching on Casterly Rock, and they're doing the classic scaling up the walls thing and all that kind of stuff. And to start with, it goes exactly the way that Tyrion's describing. It's like it's going to be a hard fight, and then but I have a little secret passage when I was put in charge of constructing the sewers. That'll certainly be handy.
I built a little gift for myself while I was working down with the women. Tyrion, you're a little dog here.
You and your whores, Tyrion.
Getting down in the muck of the sewers, building yourself little passageways. That wasn't the only one. Sorry, there was no cock talk in this episode.
We got to do something. We did get a bit more nudity, but we'll get to that. And then, at a certain point, he's talking about the resistance would be, it's so difficult, and there are going to be so many casualties. And the guy's like, we already killed everyone. What's going on?
I wanted to kill more people.
Where are my people? Yeah, and then the big reveal that the Lannisters abandoned their home castle.
And they were, daintily doing short-step marching onto the castle. That was the most least threatening army I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of armies march onto me.
Well, being a lord, that'll happen. Yeah, this is another, when I say there's a lot of teleporting in this episode, this season, that's kind of a good example of it, is Jaime was in King's Landing beginning of this episode, and then all of a sudden he's in Highgarden. I don't know how far apart they are, but it's enough distance to be a separate kingdom.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one looks like, ancient England, and what is it? Highgarden looks like Arizona.
A little bit.
So, yeah, he traveled all the way from England to America, we can assume.
Yeah, in the span of, again, time is a hard thing to gauge, but, within a Tyrion speech is how long that took. I will say, on this watch, I was kind of like, so why didn't they take a dragon to Casterly Rock? Because they're all scaling the walls, and we've seen what a dragon can do to walls. So
yeah,
seems like why would you not?
Yeah, for all the destructions I've seen dragons do, why only bring them to burn the guys who why not burn them in the first place?
We've only seen them at this point attack out in a field, or rather that's next episode, which was last episode. But, have them take down a wall. I know you don't want them to burn a city, but, take down the defensive wall and you'll save yourself a lot of dudes.
Yeah, this will just go into my theory that this and the last episode, this episode and the Spoils of War, just in case the timeline of how we do things is confusing, are the same episode. Like, they could have literally been the same episode.
You could have kind of cut and spliced bits from one to the other. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, especially the Dan and John stuff, which really just seemed a repeat. So, in forward speaking.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think Dan Brady's whole speech of, when they're in on Dragon Island,
the Rocky Throne,
Rocky Throne, the Stony Throne.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, it's meant to be intense, and I just don't quite get that from her. Usually she's a little bit better, but I don't know. This was, something about less intimidating than it thought it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was undercut with a joke with fucking, what's her name, Sunday of...
I did write this down because we were pronouncing it wrong, but now I can't see where I wrote it down. So,
the lady with the afro.
Yeah.
She did the full, like, Michael Buffer intro for Dan Brady. Introducing first, fighting out of the Stony Throne.
Yep.
With her hair in an impossible spiral braid.
How does she even do that? It's Dan, breaker of chains, mother of dragons, liberator of the tribe, brother of the ocean, fellow liberator of people. Yeah, it's so goddamn long. And then, Sir Davos is just, this is Jon Snow. He's king of the north. He's a pretty decent fisher. And I've seen him do that thing where you open a champagne with a sword. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so I didn't know we were doing this. I would have written a few things down.
I'm sorry, you haven't done much.
Yeah, so, yeah, all the while I was thinking of that, and so, yeah, her usual bend the knee routine wasn't really doing it for me there either.
Yeah.
So is this also the first time that they meet?
Yes.
So, okay, this another thing that gets me retroactively pissed off at the things I just watched. That's how they built up their romance?
Yeah, you've seen all the romantic build and payoff at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
The way that was played out, this was like, to me, like 6 seasons of will they, won't they?
No, they didn't Sam and Diane this shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, especially with the last episode and their interaction there, because they, like, correct me if I'm wrong, seem to just get together out of nowhere then.
I mean, you get that there's an attraction. I like to think they were just horny. Because, I think there's even a line somewhere. It's like, well, the Queen's rather young and beautiful, and Jon Snow's rather young and handsome. And then I guess they just made the old, one hand through the other finger kind of gesture. And that's the way things go, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought there would have been a bit more build-up, and Tyrion, at least trying to wingman this shit a little bit more than just ask for dragon glass, my dude.
Yeah, dragon glass, hey? No, I mean, I think if there's one thing you can unquestionably say about season 7 and 8, it's rushed.
Yeah.
So, maybe if we'd gotten full 10 seasons, there would have been a bit more build in this, a little bit more time. Or hell, maybe people just fell in love quicker in mythical times. Because, you were likely to die of cholera at 30, so you may as well get your bone on.
No, that's it. Like Infectious Dude said, he lived his life and all that. I forgot what he said.
Jorah Mormont, a.k.a. Captain Friendzone, a.k.a. he's a real calloused boy now.
Yes.
He's got callous face and he's callous chest.
Yeah. Oh, first time I'd seen callous chest.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen him before, but he's not been shirtless. I forgot how kind of gross that was.
Yeah. And the doctor, doing doctoring. This poking seems to be doing something. Does it hurt?
He's got a retractable poking stick. I wrote down medical poking, and he's like, I definitely know what I'm doing and not just prodding you.
Yeah. Man, medieval fucking medicine has come a long way.
Yeah, he's like, could leeches help this? Not even that. Not even leeches, just poking a dude.
Yep. It's evolved from, when the kids find the body in the woods and they poke it with a stick. That's where he got his medical training from. Yeah,
pretty much. And then after that, he's got a whole bit with Sam, who should be in another movie, going, I suppose you thought you'd be rewarded. Well, no, you're not. You're going to have to go copy out all this bullshit.
Yep.
And be careful of the people. Be careful of the paper mites. They're like flesh too. And it's like, Jesus, does everything want to murder you in this world?
That's what I get the impression of. And I'm guessing, our old mate Samwise looked like he went to the ministry. Wait, no, what is it?
Citadel.
Monastery. Citadel. So is this like I got the impression from last one that these were like monks. They were like religious-y.
Not religious-y, just very ordered form of like education, I suppose.
So, right. Pro scholars, that sort of thing.
Exactly. So this is the old-timey version of those stupid robes that, you get when you get your doctorate or whatever.
Oh, right.
And,
the old-timey version of those people that are just perpetual students,
Yeah.
You go to do your university degree and there's the 40-year-old that's always asking questions.
Yeah, well, that one guy who's writing down every shit he ever took.
Yeah.
That dude from last time.
Well, I'm glad that Samwise preserved that note.
Mm-hmm. I mean... You got to know these things, apparently. Hey, sewers come in handy, man, and so do the people who use them. I don't know. Let's move on. MVP. What was your most valuable part of this episode?
Oh, most valuable part?
Yes.
I
told you I had a thing for it. I forgot what it was. It's most valuable part.
Not person? Oh.
No, it could be a person, could be a scene, could be an effect, could be a line.
Because this was another one of these episodes where, like, even in the ones that I didn't like, there was always a standout actor. But for me, because there's sort of, like, looking at a few different character stories, there wasn't really, like, a super big standout. They're sort of, all just doing their own version of turning the giant cog of story.
Yep.
But my God... The person who is getting my MVP, most valuable person, is the fucking sassy queen.
Elaborate. There are two queens.
The queen that was wearing like the Latvian Orthodox head thing, and super old one that I'm guessing was Jaime Lannister's mother.
No. This is I forget her first name. This is the Queen of Tyrell, the Tyrell Queen. I forget her name. She's not a queen. She's Lady Tyrell.
So did she command over that black army that got duped into only killing some of the Red Army?
No. That was the Unsullied. That was Daenerys' army.
Jesus fucking Christ! So many armies.
Yeah. So all right. When the Lannisters buggered out of their home when they knew the Dothraki and the Unsullied and Dan Brady's army were coming, where they actually went was to Highgarden, and that was the Tyrell's family home, which they invaded, took over, took all their gold.
That's why...
in the next past episode where they're destroying all that gold they got, that's what that is.
And he said you won the biggest prize, so I assumed he'd won the showcase on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that's the one. No Wheel of Fortune is what we found out in this episode.
Oh, well, there goes my prediction. Fuck, I'm not good at predicting these things.
I think you're great at it.
But yeah, sassy queen, man, she had some killer lines, and her delivery at the end when she's talking about killing Joffrey, I mean, mwah. This is a fucking actor that doesn't need to move a bone in her body except her mouth.
100% presence. It's amazing. Yeah, she just downs that poison and goes, she goes, will there be pain? And he's like, no, I made sure that your poison would be... He's like, good. Drinks the poison. He's like, I'd hate to die the way your son did. That stupid cunt. What a cunt.
I've met some cunts in my life.
He was the cuntiest cunt that ever cunted. Yeah. No, her whole scene is just... You'll see more of her, obviously, because, she'll be alive. But every scene she's in, she steals at 110.
Yeah. So. Oh, just that whole, the burn as well. I've learned some lessons from my failures. Well, you must be quite wise by now.
Yeah.
Fucking, sassy
I even wrote down, burn!
Oh, Jamie, not even your army got burnt that bad in the next episode. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. He should have been sitting next to some of his troops who were melted going, you call that a burn? Wait till you hear what old lady Tyrell said to me. Yeah, man. And even then, there's a great little, reference if you get it, where she realizes she's defeated. She goes, and now the rains weep o'er our halls, which is a reference to a song called "The Rains of Castamere," which is like a "This is how bad the Lannisters murdered some people" song that they kind of use earlier on. It's a nice little reference. I like it.
There you go, like memes within the Game of Thrones universe.
Pretty much, man.
What about you? What was your MVP?
My MVP has to go to another queen. This was Cecil Lannister's torture and killing of the Dornish women.
Damn!
Yeah, it is so heavy. It's so well done. Lena Henley just crushes this moment. And so do the two, I don't know their names, character or actors. Alora Sand, I think, is one of them, but the other one's one of the Sand Vipers. But man, it is just devastating. And it's, full of... There's this kind of motherly rage is the only thing I can give to it, where she's like, I understand why you did it, but you understand why it hurts so much because you have daughters as well, and you know how this hurts. So I know how this hurts, and there's kind of this great little like mother lion just shredding the thing that took away a cub kind of thing. It's brilliant, and yeah, the acting's great. It's shot really well. It's tragic when right at the end they're trying to reach each other, but the chains keep them just far away. Ah, man, so well done. It's devastating.
Yeah, because I gotta say, like, I actually haven't seen a lot of Cersei's supposed brutalness as a dictator, queenie, whatever. Like, it's all just been said and not shown, which, like, I gotta say, it's sort of been a bit frustrating for me, like, trying to be against her as an audience member.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's my problem for watching the show backwards, because,
this was full of that just cold razor-like viciousness, and it's,
Yeah.
And yeah, even just, and the whole delivery, the whole bit is just amazing, where she's just like, I thought of all the, I lie awake at night to looking at the canopy, thinking of all the ways I can kill my enemies, and thought of having Sir Gregor crush your face, like, what was it, crushing that lovely face open like a duck egg. It's like, oh, dear God.
Yeah, I don't remember what, someone made a reference to it in a movie once. It's like watching a cat play with a mouse before it, like, finally kills it, you know?
Yeah, it's just for the cruel enjoyment. But, oh, man, it's an amazing scene. It's just heartbreaking, but it also incredibly earned, as we'll get there.
Yeah. Oh, and then the fact that she gets all horny over it at the end as well is like, whoa.
Murder gets Cecil horny.
Yeah.
So runs in and just drops in front of Jamie. We get some Jamie bum, and then hard cut to the next morning, and then Cersei does a bit of a nude stride of pride.
Yep.
Where she's all like, I don't care who knows I'm burning my brother, whatever.
I'm the queen. I'll have her murdered too.
And just to drive it home, she tells like the handmaiden, oh, by the way, we'll need fresh sheets.
Yeah.
And then is like, you can pretty much hear in the background, woo! Girl!
I am your queen. I expect you to give me the high five.
And on the rebound.
So nudity.
Yes. So there's question 3. Nudity.
Yeah.
Get some Lena Henley boob and some Jamie Lannister bum.
She's holding it together, man. That's a rockin' bod.
She's doing well, yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
Jamie bum? Yeah, not too bad as well, Chief.
Yeah. I don't have like the back catalogue in my memory of what good man bum should look like. I'm assuming that's good.
Well, it wasn't a golden prosthetic, so I think it's good for him.
Anything that is in a golden amputee prosthetic is an upgrade, I suppose.
Yeah.
But prosthetics.
Well, especially in this world where, genitalia does get cut off. I'm sure the gold prosthetic market is doing pretty well.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of eunuchs in this show.
Yeah.
That kind of covers us for nudity and violence, because I was going to mention violence for the siege. Well, I'm going to put inverted commas, siege of Castle Rock.
Yeah.
And even though there's no real physical violence other than a bit of poisoning, the bit with the Dornish women is, like I said, just brutal without being brutal.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering in that scene, where did Cersei get lipstick? And then when she gave her the kiss of death, it started to make sense then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, what else we got here? Okay, a couple of the moments of what happened. They pull Theon out of the ocean, and they're like, you fucked it up, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
But that's mostly that.
Damn eunuchs.
We do get some good... And he's the guy you love to hate, Euron Greyjoy, parading Yara and the Sand Vipers through the streets. Although I do really like when they're just all like... He's all like, I feel that, Jamie, the love of the people. I guess you've never seen that before. And he's all like, yeah, but, not long ago they were cheering Cersei as she was paraded through the streets. And
yeah.
Then they'll parade you through, they'll laugh as we put your head on a stick if you betray us. And he's like, they're just big fans of heads on sticks. They don't really care who's on them. Like, yeah.
Yeah. He knows what the people want.
Yeah. He's got so many just great love to hate him kind of lines where he's just like, so How does she like it? Gentle or rough? A finger up the bum.
The 3 types of sex.
Yep, gentle, rough, finger up the bum.
You at home, answer our poll that we'll be putting up on our social media.
Thank God we don't have one of those. Yeah, we're method here. They didn't have social media, so neither do we.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Apparently, I don't know.
In this scene as well, and in contrast with the scene later with Sansa and Littlefinger, like I just kept thinking, they're throwing all the fresh food and fruit at the people being paraded down the streets, and it's like, do they not have the saying, aren't there starving children in Winterfell? Like,
yeah, it's true. It's like, yeah, you could have eaten that. Instead, you hocked it at your enemies. Well, who's the idiot now?
So in that, is King's Landing a rich area?
Rich. It's like, the main city, and Winterfell's like, bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, well, fuck you guys then. You deserve to burn, you not liking food motherfuckers.
You're just like heads on sticks and wasting food, don't you wankers?
I like when we can waste food before we see the heads on sticks.
Or wasting food during seeing heads on sticks. Or wasting our heads on sticks. Yeah.
I love our incestuous queen and all the riches she brings.
Crazy, crazy times. Littlefinger does have a little speech, which basically boils down to be paranoid as fuck. That's a terrible Littlefinger. How does he speak again? It's all like wispy and pseudo-Irish. I can't do it right now.
I don't know. I still picture him with his little finger up holding a tea. Be paranoid. Yeah. You never know who's going to get you.
Why don't you just be paranoid as fuck and nothing will ever surprise you?
Yeah.
That's the new Littlefinger, apparently.
Yeah. Part provoker, part joker.
Yeah, part, Lucky Charms leprechaun.
and all bad dye job.
Yep. And then, of course, Bran shows up, and we get, finally someone just does just go, I'm the three-eyed raven now. Okay, what does that mean? I was made the three-eyed raven by the three-eyed raven. You said you were the three-eyed raven!
Yep. My note for this was, Bran and Sandcello.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
That was a bit forced in, but...
Oh, man, it's worth it.
My other note was just, like, the little, emoticon for shruggy that you do with your phone, because... I am the three-eyed raven. You are the three-eyed raven, yes.
But who's on first?
Yes. No, third. Eyes. Ravens.
Forget about it. Yep.
Third base.
They have this whole arrival at Dragon's Reach. We've talked before about having a series of just following just the guards, and they're just standing there, and they take their weapons, and Jon Snow's guard's like, cool, we just hanging out on an island then? I don't have a weapon, can't really defend you, can't do my job, so gonna take a seat and maybe a nap.
What's there to do here?
Yeah. You got mining. Oh, shit. Gonna mine some dragon glass, Blair.
What else? You can bend the knee if you want. It's boring.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard in this armor. It's not a lot of flexibility. They don't want you to... It's a thing. Never mind. And there's the camera's all, ooh, look at the scenery. Look at the scenery. Dragons!
Yep.
So I did quite enjoy that, actually. It was like, that is some nice scenery. And then out of nowhere, dragons. They kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, they did a good little jump scare, and, there's, dragons, they say you'll get used to them, but you never do. And
never quite get used to them. They're children,
Dragons are like herpes.
Ew.
Or whatever those swords that What's-His-Face had in the Whatsy thing. The Citadel.
Yeah.
I got one word. Fill in the blanks, you at home.
What Callous Chest had on his chest previously before it got cut off. Yep. We have Melisandre, the Red Woman, shows up and foretells some things about dying. So, yep, which come true. So there we go.
Yeah, I last saw her when she was out in a field and she got killed by a bunch of people on horses.
No, she just walks out into the field and drops dead.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That was the end of her story arc.
Well, good to catch up with her again, I guess.
Yeah.
Tyrion makes reference to popular AMC show The Walking Dead as well at one point.
I mean, they're on different networks. They can't say that.
Yeah, that's why he ran the Deadmen really quick together.
Yeah.
Just like you and those Walking Deadmen. Yeah, we saw you plugging that
those
show.
Walking Formerly Alive fellows.
Actually, another, Tyrion was runner-up for MVP just because... are you passing off your own statements as ancient wisdom? No.
No. Read it in a book.
Ancient wisdom book.
Yes, a book of real good quotes that you should not look into.
It was by Mr. Wiseman.
George Cauldron.
And that puts me out of notes.
All right, let me see what else I got here. I do have a little bit for Mean of Girls where Danny is going through like the whole history. It's like, well, if you'll remember, your family pledged their loyalty to us in perpetuity. What does in perpetuity mean again?
Yeah.
Oh, it means forever, girl. Oh, that's right. It means forever.
Forever.
Yeah. So that was a very bitchy moment that I thoroughly enjoyed recasting as a high school drama.
Yep. I was also picturing her doing her own cover of Everywhere Man. I've been raped and pleasured and sold and bought and I've been everywhere, Dan.
Boom. All right. It's a good line of sometimes tragedies are necessary, where it's like, yes, the destruction of the High Septum was a great tragedy. Yes, sometimes tragedies are necessary. Wink.
Yeah.
And, well, gold wins wars. It's like, yeah, thank you very much, death and taxes guy. And there's also a great bit where John's standing on these, again, very picturesque shoreline of Dragon's Reach, or Dragon's Reach is from Skyrim. Dragon, what the fuck was his name of this place?
Something to do with dragons.
I think it's Dragon Rock or Dragon's Rock or something. But Dragon's Reach, yeah, Skyrim. Yeah, so he's standing out there looking very much like he could suddenly break out a heavy metal guitar solo.
Man, I was thinking specifically the Darkness. Fuck,
Yeah,
what is the
yeah.
song? Love is only a feeling.
Absolutely. Put like a stack of Marshalls behind him and give him a Les Paul. It'll look amazing.
Yeah, because do you remember that film clip?
Sorry, Les of Paul. Yes, I do. I do remember that
from the
clip.
House of Gibson. Yeah. But yeah, for those that don't know at home, look up the Darkness. Fuck, Love is only a feeling. They filmed it in the Blue Mountains of Australia, and it is beautiful.
Also, look at Majesty of Rock by Spinal Tap. Very similar setup.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they may have drawn from that. But then, yeah, Tyrion rocks up and goes, came up here to brood, but you look much better at brooding than I do. Yeah, I was like, yes, he does. He's got you cornered on that one.
Yeah, he's got that Kit Harington brood.
Yeah, he's got a good brood. He knows what he's doing. So, he could have been the next Batman if we weren't getting, Sparkly Vampire.
Oh, that's right. That's a thing.
That's a thing. And he's got the good line of people's minds aren't made big enough for problems that large. And it's like, seeing as apparently the White Walkers are meant to be kind of a metaphor for climate change, that is a good point. People like manageable obstacles they can tell, like a person or a, tyrannical government, but not something as large and as permanent as, freezing death of the planet.
Yeah. Well, I will say, as far as a story point, having Tyrion go, ask for something smaller, was I thought actually a really good move, just story-wise.
Absolutely. And it's a good point when he brings it to Daenerys. He's like, they want mine dragon class. You didn't even know it was there. If it kills the White Walkers, fantastic. If it doesn't, you've lost nothing and you've given them a favor. It's like, that's genuinely awesome advice.
Yeah. And yeah, a clever way to put that story together and also forward their relationship as well, even though now that I know this was the starting point, extremely not satisfied
What
with
relationship? Yeah, we're what, 5 episodes away and they're already in love and boning on a ship.
Yeah.
It's true they go through a lot between now and then, but still. Pretty sure that is everything I have. So let's wrap this up with a quick, how do we get here?
All right. Well, we got another classic, people arriving on a shore in a boat.
Yep.
So that's where Jon Snow get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the scene, we see him, asking requests for Daenerys. So, all right. So wherever they were before, the North, I guess. He keeps saying, oh, I'm the king of the North. I'm the North. So they were at the North. They saw the White Walkers come and was like, well, we're going to be fucked if we deal with them, aren't we?
Yep.
Let's go ask that dragon lady for dragons.
That seems very reasonable. I did also forget to mention we have a nice bit of Sansa being in charge. It was, quick, but it was good. Got its point across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we think that sounds quite a reasonable prediction of how we get here. Let's find out next time as we go back further in time in Games of Thrones. Till then, that's been Elliot Jay O'Neill.
Laters.
I've been BT Calloway, and for now, our watch has ended.